I wasn't attending church, but I considered myself a very spiritual person in the Word, just not gathering with other believers at the time. I kind of just saw church as a place where I didn't feel personally that the work of God was being done. I just thought it was more of a place where people went to actually like kind of just say that I'm here, I'm doing my church once a week, and that's sufficient. And I thought that it should be more than that. I thought it should be heartfelt. And so for me, I just didn't want to be one of those people that was checking off a box on a Sunday. I wanted to actually get involved and have that feeling of, you know, this is what I'm here for.
I was actually going to another church with one of my friends. We would get up and we would go, and my husband, I would see him every morning. He would read his Bible, say his prayers every night. So I knew he had it in him. He just wasn't going to church.
I knew that I needed to be a part of a church body. And I was like, there's more that God is calling me to do. He wants to use me. And I feel like I needed to be connected to actually be used the way that He wants to use me. What I did was I actually visited several different churches. In doing so, Cross Point was one of the churches that I visited, and I got that feeling of like belonging.
When we became members of Cross Point, I knew I wanted to get involved. I'm a high school math teacher, so working with kids and being that positive figure or someone they can talk to is, it's in my blood. So I said, well, let me just volunteer. And I was volunteering, just when they needed me or once a month. And mind you, it was kindergarten and first, and I teach high school. So that was my first kind of hang up. Like, okay, these are babies and I teach the older kids. Like, I was still learning in Christ. So I was like, well, what if they ask me something that I don't know the answer to? Or what if I tell them something wrong? So I just had all that going through my head. But I did eventually, start volunteering about once a month or whenever they needed. Once we moved to the new building, I was volunteering a little bit more, getting my feet wet, and I received a text, and it said that they needed to meet with me after the second service on Sunday. So there had been some talk about permanent DPK teachers, and when I received the text, I kind of knew what it was about, so I was like, no, not gonna happen. I thought of a million reasons why I wouldn't be able to do it. I was in school at the time, taking graduate courses, and Sundays were my days for me to get all my work done and prepare for the work week. So all these things were going through my head. But that Sunday, Pastor David, he preached a message about just stepping out on faith and how God is going to use you and He'll lead you and mold you. So when he was preaching, I'm like, oh man, he's talking to me. So I still tried to think of other reasons why I shouldn't do it. So after the service, I went in the office, we sat down, and lo and behold, they wanted me to become a permanent DPK teacher. And at the time, like God told Moses, I heard Him say that I'll be with you. So when I heard God speak, I went ahead and committed. It's been a great experience. I've been learning and growing in Christ, and being able to see the children learn and grow in Christ is very, it warms my heart. It's very fulfilling to see them grow and to see myself grow as well.
When I was initially just coming to church, I felt like there was more, and I only knew like a few people, so I just wanted to really get to know my faith family. One day, I met with Pastor David. I asked, how could I get connected? He told me the way to get connected or start to get connected is to join a life group, and instead I started a life group. I had some friends that actually attend Cross Point Church. They were pushing like, let's get a life group started. I just stepped up, kind of hesitant about being a life group leader because not having all the answers. Question may arise that you may not be able to answer. And so me too, like my wife, I was just like, God said He's sufficient. And I know that God's sufficient. And so with that being said, I just took that faith, that walk faith, and stepped out to become a life group leader, and I've enjoyed every moment of it.
You know, in the beginning, it was our schedules. Like, that was our reason for our excuse for not going. But now that we have started one, like, that excuse is gone. That we've made it work, and it's working out good. And I also feel like it helps you to build a bond with people that you may not have ever, spoke with, or just in passing said hello. Because our life group members, we have so much in common. Not even, when we sat and met originally, it's like, oh, well, I taught your daughter. Oh, well, I did this, and I know your son, and and it was just fulfilling to see that we had so much in common, yet we didn't even know each other.
It all comes through prayer. I'm always praying. If I get anxiety about something, I just go to the Word and pray about it, and He just do it for me. And He leads. He leads the life group session. He's just using me. I'm just here to be used by God.